Welcome to the channel. Today, we want to talk a little about eggs. What is in an egg? The contents, the full contents of an egg. And also, we're going to be doing some of the benefits that are found in an egg. And apart from that, we're going to be able to talk also about myths about eggs. Eggs are a major source of proteins. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids that you can look for. And if you eat a whole large egg, being an excellent source of high quality protein, you are definitely getting all the 9 essential amino acids. I'm going to be actually listing the 9 essential amino acids so that we can at least familiarize ourselves with those. And that means that if you eat a full egg, you have all that it takes to, you definitely need some of the non-essential amino acids, but at least for the essential ones that your body cannot make, you are going to get them all from, an egg. And these 9 essential amino acids are going to be there. The first one is histidine. It also contains isoleucine. Good egg also contains leucine itself, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, 309, tryptophan, which we all know, those of you who know, turkey, we talk about tryptophan in turkey when we do Thanksgiving, right? So that amino acid is also found in an egg. And then lastly, valine. These essential amino acids are crucial for various biological processes in the body, including, protein synthesis, muscle strength. If you talk about protein synthesis, you need amino acids to make or synthesize some proteins, and proteins are the make of your muscles, right? So your muscles are made of proteins. So if you have these 9 amino acids, then you are obviously going to be able to build muscle strength or build muscle mass. We also are going to be able to, repair our damaged tissue. Tissues that have been damaged need to be replaced. And since amino acids are used in repairing or making cells, cell DNA and all that needs amino acids to make. If you are eating these eggs that contain these 9 amino acids, you are going to be able to easily repair tissues that have been damaged. Also, you are going to be able to find that if you are eating eggs because of these 9 amino acids that are contained, you can definitely be sure that your immune function is going to be on point, because these amino acids are required for, top-notch immune function. Also, we know that when you're eating eggs, these amino acids are going to be readily available for you to synthesize your hormones. Hormone synthesis. Hormones are some of the signaling molecules that are found in the body. And if you don't have adequate sources of amino acids or proteins, you cannot synthesize these hormones, because the hormones are made of proteins, right? So you need these 9 amino acids that are found in egg for hormone synthesis. You also need to think about enzymes. When you have enzymes are proteins. And of course, the basic unit of a protein is the amino acids. And so if you have a good source of protein, such as an egg, you are going to have especially the essential amino acids that are required to synthesize or make some of these enzymatic proteins. So enzymes that help in digestion, enzymes that help in detoxification, enzymes that help to catalyze, body reactions or speed up body reactions are all going to be are readily available because you are eating an egg. An egg contains these essential amino acids. We're also talking about eggs also being very essential for other things that your body may need. Overall health, if you have eggs, because of the rich sources of your protein, you will be able to improve upon your health. So eggs are not something to play with. They are a very important source of a healthy diet that we all need to follow, especially in this case, talking about the proteins. So protein-rich diets can promote satiety and also support weight management. So if your diet is consistently including proteins, in which case we're talking about eggs, you're going to have a healthy weight, because the proteins will support your weight building. instead of building weight out of salt or out of water retention. If you have good sources of protein, such as an egg, you are going to be able to get protein-based weight, which is a healthier weight than water or fat-based weight. And also, as I already alluded to, eggs being a rich source of proteins will make you full quicker. When you eat eggs, you are going to be filled quickly, more readily, a better feeling than to be dwelling on starchy foods. So that's at least the thing with proteins in an egg. And there's a lot of research out there that supports this. There's a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition which demonstrated that consuming eggs as part of a high protein diet can actually aid in weight loss and improve metabolic health. The other thing that egg contains, which is also very important, is choline or choline, choline, depending on how you want to say it, but I call it choline. And choline also is essential for brain health, liver function, and also metabolism. So especially in the pregnant woman, having a good source of meal, a good healthy diet, including choline, would definitely improve your adequate, the brain function of the baby, because choline is needed, the brain or neuronal communication used, in what we call a neurotransmitter synthesis. So the chemicals in brains that lead to, connections here and there and communication eventually. If you are a pregnant person and you eat eggs, or for that matter, anybody else who is still developing brain matter, if you eat eggs, you are going to have a rich source of choline. Choline is used in the synthesis of acetylcholine, and you are going to therefore have a good neuronal communication. And so eggs, not just the protein, but the source called choline is important, especially in a pregnant person. One study have shown that choline intake is associated with improved cognitive function and reduced risk of neuronal tube defects in infants. The third one we're going to be talking about is vitamin D. Eggs are some of the few dietary sources of vitamin D. And so we talked about proteins, choline, and now good old vitamin D, which we know is very important for immune function. Vitamin D is some of the best sources of vitamins that help with your immune function. Also, again, vitamin D also is involved in hormonal regulation, hormone regulation. It's actually one of the basic units of, if you take cholesterol on the side, most hormones are synthesized with vitamin D changing into the form. And if eggs contain vitamin D, then of course an egg is a healthy diet. We all agree that vitamin D is good for several things, including even chronic diseases, because it's helped with inflammation, it helps with bone building and a host of hormone synthesis and stuff. It is a good thing for you too. It's actually also implicated in cardiovascular health, in your heart and your brain health. If you have adequate sources of vitamin D, you are definitely going to be better off. And of course, vitamin D is also implicated in helping prevent certain cancers. That people who have either prostate cancer or colon cancers, if your vitamin D levels are high or good enough, you are always standing a better chance of beating the cancers. And so that also means that if you have high enough vitamin D levels, you may also avoid certain cancers. In an egg, you got vitamin D also there. All right, let's move on to the next content of an egg. Now, the next thing is lutein and zeaxanthin. These are also antioxidants that are found in vitamin D. They are carotenoid-based antioxidants, and they help with your eyes, your eye health. I cannot stress that enough. If you eat enough eggs, you are going to get enough amounts of zeaxanthin and then lutein. And these two substances are implicated in reducing age-related macular degeneration. Apart from macular degeneration or age-related macular degeneration, another thing that zeaxanthin and lutein can do is to help with cataracts. So if you are somebody who is worried about cataracts or you have a family history, you probably should have sources rich in zeaxanthin and lutein. And if you can eat an egg, that is one of the sources that you can definitely rely on. But we are not done yet. So let's move on to the next one, which is vitamins B12. And B12, as we know, help with nerve function, also red blood cell production, and another important thing, DNA synthesis. And so it plays a critical role in energy metabolism and also neuronal health. There's a study that has also demonstrated that, adequate vitamin B12 levels or B12 intake is vital for preventing megaloblastic anemia, megaloblastic anemia, or neurological disorders associated with vitamin B12 deficiency, tingling, numbness, and all those other things that we can call. Now, let's move on to the next one. The sixth one that we're going to be talking about that is found in an egg is what we call selenium. Selenium is a trace element. It's also found in an egg, and it's an essential mineral that, serves as an antioxidant, has an antioxidant property, and protects cells from oxidative stress. And it is found in an egg. Eating an egg is not just the protein. Most people know about the proteins and maybe the vitamin Ds, but here again is another thing called selenium, which is going to be helpful as far as antioxidation is concerned, or protecting your cells from oxidative stress is concerned. Selenium helps with your thyroid. So that's another thing. If you eat an egg, you're getting some trace elements called selenium, and you may be protecting your thyroid function. And a research that observed people, so it's a meta-analysis that was published in the Lancet, found that selenium supplementation may reduce the risk of certain cancers, including even prostate cancer and colorectal cancers. In an egg, you find this supplement there for free, no matter how small. If you eat an egg, or if you eat eggs, or if eggs become part of your diet, you get this selenium for free because it's already part of the component of an egg. It's already embedded in an egg for free. All right, so now let's hit the number 7. It's vitamin A. And vitamin A is an important vitamin also involved in vision. If there is not enough vitamin A, you are not going to have the best. And of course, vitamin A is also involved with your skin health and immune function. And so eggs also having vitamin A makes an egg a very healthy diet. But we're going to talk about how many eggs you should take in order. But we just want to make sure that at least we tell you all the benefits of the stuff that are contained in an egg. Without supplementation, it's already supplemented in your egg. So eggs are pretty good in terms of immune function, cell differentiation, gene expression, and all that good stuff found with vitamin A. A constituent of an egg is vitamin B2, riboflavin. That's what we call it. And riboflavin is also involved in energy production. So, and also involved in metabolism of fats and proteins and carbohydrates, and also involved in cellular growth and repair. So that's pretty good stuff and pretty comprehensive, function right there. Vitamin B2 or riboflavin found in an egg. And so if you eat enough amounts of egg, you are going to have this, your metabolism is going to be on point in terms of, metabolizing fats and proteins and carbohydrates, which are the major things we eat anyway. You are going to be on point because you have enough amount of vitamin B2 or riboflavin, which is in an egg. So it's pretty good stuff. And we have several studies that support, vitamin B2 doing this. Suffice to say that we are talking about egg, but I can also say that a systematic review, which was published in the New England Journal of in the Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition, discusses the role of riboflavin in preventing migraines and promoting overall health. So if you eat an egg, maybe if you are prone to headaches, you may have a reduction in your headaches. So it may reduce the incidence of headaches in you because of the B2 or riboflavin vitamin that is contained in an egg. Suffice to say that it may not be a lot in there, but at least if an egg is a consistent part of your meals, you may accumulate enough B2 or riboflavin to enjoy the benefits of preventing migraines and promoting overall health. If you are watching and you have migraines, give it a shot and let us know in the comments if, maybe you had a lot of migraines and all of a sudden when you started an egg diet or when you started including eggs in your diet, it went down. I want to know about that. So, and of course, not just the riboflavin, any of those things we have mentioned, if eggs have been part of your diet and you want to share some of the benefits we have mentioned, let us know. Or if you never got any benefit out of them, let us know. It's all good. That way we at least keep the conversation going. But with that being said, let's go to the ninth constituent of an egg, or ninth component of an egg, which is also healthy. And that is what we call phosphorus. And phosphorus is essential also for bone health. Apart from vitamin D, you're getting vitamin D is also for help with bone health. And now phosphorus on top of it is also going to help with bone health and also energy metabolism, kind of like B12 and B2. So that is phosphorus for you, also found in an egg. And phosphorus is also involved in cellular cell signaling, or cellular signaling, and that is something that you can get for free in an egg. Suffice to say again that it may not be a lot, but it adds up. And then we also talk about its role in DNA and RNA synthesis. That is another thing that you can find in an egg, benefit of an egg because of the phosphorus content that we are talking about. Now, the 10th point, see, we got a lot of benefits of an egg, right? So now the 10th one is folate or folic acid, which is also vitamin B9. And folate is also crucial for DNA synthesis, also for your red blood cells formation, and for neural tube development during pregnancy. So if you are also enjoying egg, this is one of the things that you're going to find because of folate. We supplement pregnancy, people with pregnancy with folic acid. We recommend that they take 1 milligram of folic acid a day, minimum, for all pregnant people. If you are watching and you've been pregnant, especially if you are in a place here where we are and you are seeing an OBGYN, there's most likely a chance that you're on a prenatal vitamin. And a prenatal vitamin should contain at least 1 milligram of folate. And you can get folate for free in an egg. Of course, it may not be enough. If you include, eggs in your diet while you're pregnant, you are definitely going to make sure that you get some folate. Number 11 is that eggs also have iron, and iron is necessary for, of course, oxygen transport and red blood cell production, right? Iron is used to make hemoglobin, which binds to oxygen and which is used, for oxygen transport. And iron is also one of those trace elements that you can find in a large egg. You're probably asking how many eggs can do all this good stuff. We're going to be hitting that soon, so stay put, and we're going to see that. The number 12 of the contents of an egg is vitamin E. Again, maybe a trace amount, but vitamin E is also an antioxidant, as most of you know, and that protects cells from oxidative stress or oxidative damage, for that matter. It supports immune function and also promotes skin health. And so vitamin E also being in an egg is something that we can definitely take to the bank and potentially benefit from if we eat an egg, if we eat enough eggs. So that was the 12th point. Now the 13th point is cholesterol, which most people know, and for which reason some people don't even want to eat an egg. That's the I put that as the last one. There could be more, but for the sake of time, I just wrote down this as the last point in terms of what is contained in an egg. The yolk of an egg has about 186 milligrams of cholesterol. The complete egg basically has about 186 milligrams of cholesterol. And I know you probably don't like eggs because of the cholesterol, or you may have heard that, eggs contain a lot of cholesterol, and so you don't want to even touch an egg. But here's the case. The yolk of the egg contains the most of, right? I'm not an advocate of you just eating the whites. And the reason, I'm going to get to the reasons a little bit, but at least right now we're talking about what is contained in an egg and what's the benefit. So let's talk about the benefits of cholesterol, because cholesterol happens to be one of the largest contents in an egg, right? Especially in the yolk. But what are some of the benefits of cholesterol? I know you know about all the bad rap that cholesterol has, but cholesterol is needed for cell membrane, synthesis and repair. You need cholesterol for that. You need cholesterol for brain function. Most of our brain cells are made of cholesterol. You need cholesterol for transporting certain things in the body. And cholesterol also happens to be one of the units or basic units upon which hormones are built. So cholesterol, however bad we call it, also has its own benefits. And as a matter of fact, our bodies make cholesterol. If it was bad, the body would not. We make cholesterol on our own. The only thing is, if you make excess, that is when eggs become like an issue. So what are some of the other benefits? Some of them things that we have said are already implicated in the others that I've also written down. So some of the things are the fact that an egg has a low glycemic index. So when we say a food has a low glycemic index, all we're saying is that when you eat that food, it doesn't dump sugars into your blood quick. So some foods, when you eat, if you eat sugar, you drink soda, the sugars comes right from the food into your blood. So we call it high glycemic index, right? And some other starchy foods or processed foods. That's why we on this channel, we don't promote processed foods. Foods in their natural state tend to take a while before their sugars are released into the bloodstream. And so we encourage people, not just for diabetics, but for everybody, to eat foods that are not processed. And what better food is not processed than an egg? So if you eat an egg came from the chicken, you cannot add anything to it unless you choose to. Which, if you want more info on that, you can watch our last episode. We talked about how many things people can do to an egg to make the egg really bad. Egg itself, if you just boiled it, not overcook it, it's not processed. And because of that, even if there are sugars in an egg, it doesn't dump any sugars into your bloodstream. But the key is that because it's protein rich and less carbohydrate, you don't have a lot of sugars coming into your bloodstream. So eggs are called low glycemic index food. So for diabetics, an egg may be something you want to do. The only caveat is that if you have been a diabetic for so long and your sugars have not been managed well, and you have potentially developed some, renal or kidney problems, and in that case, you may not be encouraged to eat a lot of protein, of which eggs are, because you may begin to have protein coming through your urine, and that is not something we want you to. But for the diabetic who is controlled, an egg may be something that you can use to kind of tame your appetite, because you eat, you are full, it increases your satiety, and also it doesn't dump any sugars into your blood. And so it becomes a very healthy diet for people who are sugar or blood sugar conscious. And also, generally speaking, as a matter of fact, even the American Heart Association, they say that an egg can be a part of a healthy diet if done moderately. But with that being said, now let's talk about the cholesterol myth. We've talked about all the benefits, right? Let's just zoom into the cholesterol myth. And I think I've already alluded to some of the myths. Like some people say that if you eat an egg, your cholesterol is going to go up. And the reason they are saying that is because an egg yolk has a cholesterol amount of 186. If you look at one ball of egg, so if you had 2 eggs, you are already exceeding 300 milligrams of cholesterol, which is kind of high. But if you compare an egg to a sausage or bacon or any other high fatty food, you may potentially not even come close, because those are not only rich in saturated fats, they are also rich in salt, and all those things put together may actually be worse than just eating an egg. And so some of the myths of cholesterol are debunked. And again, watch our show on the Life and Health show on our channel and see what we talked about, because I don't want to spend the whole time also talking about that, since we already have a video on that. Suffice to say that it is not true that eating an egg will raise your cholesterol, and especially if you do it moderately. If you eat an egg a day, you're getting only 186 milligrams of cholesterol from that one egg. And so for 7 days, if you eat 7, that's fine. As long as you're active and you are not sedentary, you are going to potentially use all that cholesterol up anyway. And so in that case, it is fine. But that being said, if you have a cholesterol level that is so high to the extreme and you have been restricted from an egg diet, then it makes sense, because adding 186 milligrams a day to your already high cholesterol may eventually be worse. And so for people whose doctors have advised them to cut back, of course you got to cut back because you're already at a dangerous cholesterol level. But for the most people, just an egg a day is fine. And as a matter of fact, saying an egg a day, it's fine, it's also based on science. Studies have been done. I didn't want to go too far, but I think we're having a good conversation here. So let's stick together and go on. There are a couple of studies that I have. That one study I'm going to say it was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2020, and they followed 415,000 people, and they followed the people for 8.2 years, or we can say 8 years, right? And the researchers found no association between egg consumption and an increased risk of stroke or heart disease. So over 8 years, they watched them, over 415,000 people, and they did not see any such an association with egg leading to strokes or heart disease. And remember, the worry about cholesterol is because high cholesterol can lead to stroke or heart attacks, right? Or heart disease. But they did not find that association. And the caveat is that if the people were eating only one egg a day, so if you are eating moderately, if you're eating one egg a day, or maybe you eat 2 today and tomorrow you miss it. So basically, if one egg is small for you or not enough, you can make it 2 and then miss 1 day. So it will be every other, and you'll still come up to an average of 1 egg per day. And then the studies show that that is not going to lead to any strokes or heart diseases. And as well, but that's not just one study. There's another study that was done in China that also followed 500,000 people, and the same conclusion was made. Eating an egg, at least if it is 1 egg a day, it's not going to do any harm to your cholesterol levels. So these are stuff that have been well documented. And so that is a myth that I wanted to make sure that we debunk as we're talking about the benefits of an egg. In fact, in the show that I'm talking about, we listed all the potential myths that people have about consuming an egg and debunk them one after the other. But that being said, as I said earlier, if you are on a restriction, especially for people with familial hypercholesterolemia, which is basically you have a gene that you inherited that makes you produce extra cholesterol. For you are making extra, more than what everybody is making because your gene is doing that. Then for you, your doctor may say less. And also the American Heart Association suggests that everyone eats just 1 egg a day. That's this recommendation by the American Heart Association. They actually recommend that your maximum intake of cholesterol per day is 300 milligrams, which still can go to almost 2 eggs a day. But they're saying that 1 egg per day should be fine. And so that also buttresses our point that eggs are healthy, and it can be part of a heart healthy diet because of all the other good things that you get. But remember, being healthy is not just going to be coming with a diet. You got to have all the other things that we talk about on this channel, such as your physical activity, such as your stress levels going down, taking care of your blood pressure, and eating good. So it's not just one. American Heart Association said if you have a heart condition or cardiovascular disease included, which includes your arteries, your brain, and your heart, if there's anything like that, then you may be restricted to less than maybe one a day, maybe every other, or whatever it is. But for the most people, 1 egg a day should be fine. All right, so with that being said, I say thank you for watching. Hit a like. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, don't hesitate to do that, because we want to make sure that you are kept in the loop whenever we post a video. We have live shows every Sunday evening. Definitely appreciate you staying to the end, because I know it's a long video. You can eat your egg and have it. Thanks for watching, and God bless.